C. So just to let you know, but initially right now we are going to welcome Fred up here. Fredalyn is a licensed clinical professional counselor and a board-certified art therapist. She's worked and volunteered in a variety of settings such as dementia care, mental health, private practice, and especially Gildas Club, Chicago, where for 8 years she's utilized art therapy with children and adults who've been touched with cancer. Come on over.
Good morning. Okay. As Marion mentioned, I've been at Gildas Club Chicago for 8 years now, and for all those 8 years, I have co-led a kids bereavement group and a kids support group, which we currently have going on right now for any of you who have children in your families. But I've also witnessed the power of art therapy among adolescents and adults. Sometimes when one is living with a cancer diagnosis, and for those who love and care for that person living with cancer, there are no words that fully express that experience. When there are no words, one can turn to art. The American Art Therapy Association defines art therapy as a mental health profession in which clients, facilitated by the art therapist, use art media, the creative process, and the resulting artwork to explore feelings, reconcile emotional conflicts, foster self-awareness, manage behavior and addictions, develop social skills, improve reality orientation, reduce anxiety, and increase self-esteem. For those specifically living with cancer, and especially for those undergoing treatment, utilizing art therapy can be quite powerful, and previous artistic training is never required. Drawings, paintings, collages, and sculptures can be done individually with an art therapist or in groups. People use paper, paint, colored pencils, fabric, metal, yarn, found objects. All of those are just a few examples of art materials used. And while art therapy does not cure, it will promote healing in a safe environment by regulating emotions, alleviating anxiety, depression, fear, and anger, and it will help you experience relaxation in a time of undue stress. Research has shown all of this and an increase in self-esteem and confidence, feeling together, which in turn strengthens one's coping skills, use of healthier resources, and widens one's support system. For instance, some of you may have heard of an exhibit titled Courage Unmasked that was unveiled at the American University Museum at the Katzen Arts Center in Washington, D.C. in 2009. And this particular exhibit in 2009 sparked similar events, and one was recently held in Nashville. I read about this article at npr.org, and this exhibit featured used radiation masks that cancer survivors transformed into pieces of art. This creative process for some was quite powerful. In another article that I found on NashvilleArts.com, in which a Courage Unmasked exhibit was held last September, one artist was quoted as saying, "There's just a lot of pain and suffering attached to my mask. And I wanted my process to be one that didn't contain any pain for me, one that was calming and healing and fun, a process by which I could maybe negate or heal some of that." In another article I recently read on Cleveland.com, published in February 2015, University Hospital's Case Medical Center recently held an art exhibit for a 78-year-old man named Peter Rinaldi, who lives with laryngeal cancer. He always drew as a child and continued to create art as an adult, but, quote, until his cancer, he didn't know what a comfort art could be and what a voice it would give him, end quote. After his surgery, Mr. Rinaldi literally had no voice. In the article, his wife was quoted as saying, "Imagine waking up and you aren't able to talk and you breathe through a hole in your throat," said his wife, who gets choked up when she talks about how much his engagement in art during the toughest times of his illness helped pull him through. She said it was a godsend for him. And during the art exhibit, Mr. Rinaldi was quoted as writing this about his art. Art gives me not only inner strength, but physical motivation to persevere beyond my body's weaknesses due to illness and side effects from treatment. When I'm making art, I become very focused on what's in front of me. Concerns and issues I have seem to drop into the background. Art picks my brain for better thoughts and allows me to tuck the pain away. Also, for those who are family members, caregivers, and loved ones for those living with cancer, utilizing art therapy can help work through the grief experience, taking into account personal, emotional, cultural, spiritual, or socioeconomic experiences. The art-making process can uncover feelings and thoughts of fear and anticipatory grief in a safe space, as well as incorporate self-care and respite from the demands of caregiving. And although art therapy is one way to express yourself creatively, one can participate in music therapy, dance movement therapy, drama therapy, and poetry therapy, which all fall under the blanket term of creative arts therapies. As I've mentioned, one does not need previous artistic training or skills to participate in creative arts therapies. The creative process, as opposed to the resulting product, is what's most important. I always say in my groups, there's no right or wrong. Whatever you put down on paper is just fine. All we want is an open mind and a willing spirit. There's one true thing I've learned about cancer at Gildas Club Chicago, and it's that each person's experience and journey is unique. But when you're with other people who know what you're going through, well, that gift is truly immeasurable and unforgettable. So for now, I say be creative, have a little fun, learn about yourself, laugh with others, and have fun doing it. So as Marian said, Funny Bones Improv is in room B and C, right? Caring Arts Music is in the Pritzker room, and Gildas Club Origami and Journaling will be right here in this room.